So we are reporting that US Foods has has shown interest in a tie-up. So the companies are actually pretty similar in size in terms of enterprise value. They have a lot of debt, both of them. So at this point, it's early. We don't know who's hitting over who just yet. But what we know is if this deal does go through, or if this deal does go ahead, it will face a lot of regulatory scrutiny, and eventually the goal is to combine the company into a company that has like $100 billion worth of revenue.
Do we think it's more about scale, margins, distribution overlap, or just really fending off Cisco?
So Cisco is actually currently the number one. The top 3-4 players.
We should point out that's Cisco with an S.
Cisco with an S. That's
CO.
right. And that actually, I see those trucks more than I see the others, at least in the city. So Cisco, US Foods, Performance Food, they all have their moment. Like in the past decade or so, actually, they have each like taken top spot, and it's moved around. So there were moments where, they have had activists attack at various different points. So it's interesting that this is the moment where you see that US Food is performing better than Performance Food, despite the name. So it's going to be a very challenging deal. In 2015, when Cisco and US tried for a tie-up, that deal got struck by antitrust. So it definitely is a market where scale matters, margin matters. You can combine regions, you can combine your fleets. So all of those things make it a very good synergetic combination.
The margins right now are like, you said, the razor thin, right?
So it depends on the market that you service. Like depending on whether you're going after restaurants, is it cafes, or is it like
I should back up.
Schools?
What do these companies do? They prepare food, or they bring? Explain that.
So there are various different things that they do. It comes from they do produce, they do prepared food, and they supply to places like restaurants, hospitals, schools, hotels. So depending on your end customers and what your products are, the margin's slightly different. Also, it means your production would be different, and it impacts costs. So I'm sure there is in these CEOs' head the dream combination of what the composition of each product or each geographic should be. And well, in this case, US Food clearly thinks that a tie-up with Performance would get them closer to that ideal business portfolio.
And regarding the why now, do you think it has something to do with softer regulations with the Trump administration as compared to the Bidens?
Yeah, that's definitely one big concern. It is a very consolidated industry. So my gut feeling is either way, under whatever administration, it will be looked at by the antitrust. That said, the M&A dealmaker had been expecting 2025 since the inauguration day that this would be a much friendlier M&A market under President Trump. And Liberation Day hit, and that put a lot of things on pause. In the past month or so, we have seen people warming up to the idea of exploring deals or pulling triggers. So there is an element of a friendlier regulatory environment.